Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston. Today we are talking about the black cards in Extra Booster, the Memorial Collection EB-01. We got some interesting things to talk about here. I think overall we got a decent set out of black. We got some few key cards that I think are going to make a big difference. I think that happened in every color. There's a lot of duds, but there's a few that actually stand out. Our leader here is a activate main once per turn. Turn the top card of your life face up. KO up to one of your opponent's cost 0 characters. It's a pretty interesting condition to run. 5k power for life, normal dual color stuff. I don't know if I think there's probably better things you can do with your leader, but having an innate KO isn't a bad thing, and you're really not doing much there, just flipping that life face up. So there's some potential there just out of pure power, but there's no yellow Dressrosa stuff that I can think of yet that would be building up into this deck. But maybe you don't need it and you can just play the good black cards that came out in Kingdoms of Intrigue and then play all the good yellow cards and be fine. With that being said, some good black characters from Dressrosa. This is Scarlet, does a ton of things. You basically send it to the trash, and then play a card with 3 or less with Dressrosa from your hand, rested, and then -2 to one of your opponent's characters. So it does a lot of things. It clears itself off the board. This is really interesting and is ripe for combo, especially with Rebecca, of course. I think that's like the most obvious one for a really combo-centric thing. And then you have all of the other stuff that fills in the rest, the toy soldiers and stuff like that, that are targets. I think the combo that you could run off of this card is really exciting, and to be able to possibly cycle it with the cards from OP06 with Moria, make it potentially extremely annoying and aggravating to see your opponent playing all of those cards. Spandam's dad, I believe. You can place 3 cards with CP from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. And then I believe it's make a CP show with 4 or less show up on the field, if I'm reading that correctly. Just because black needs more things that make it good, why not? It plays a character from your trash rusted. Of course it does. You are going to have a ton of targets in your trash because CP trashes characters, and the Black Navy stuff I think does that too. I don't know where it fits in the current meta, but it has the potential of becoming really nasty, especially if I'm reading it right, where you get to play a character from your trash. Yeah, I don't know. I think Frunkfried is probably not going to be played anywhere. I just don't see a reason to be playing Spandams for attacks and stuff like that. What is this? It gains haste if your opponent has a 0 cost. I don't know if black needs that. It'll be interesting to see if anything ever comes out of the Roomba Pirates. Roomba? Whatever. But this is definitely not the better of the two. This is the better of the two Brooks. On play and when attacking, -1 to one of your opponent's characters, and then KO a 0 cost. That's pretty cool if you can build up into this. So you already have a 0 cost, you -1 to something else, and you get a character KO'd. And then you end up having this Brook on board to swing the next turn. Pretty good. When this card is KO'd, draw 1, discard 1 for Baby Laboon. I think that's pretty nice. Also, don't know what you're doing with this. I don't know if this will get played, especially in the current meta, but we got Brook in the background. We'll see that going on with all of these. We have an interesting Laboon here with our adult Laboon, or post Brooks time skip Laboon. And I don't know, let me know what you think. Resting it being a 4-cost 5k attacker is pretty nice, but using its effect to -4 and then it being rested and potentially being cleared is interesting. I think that a -4 is quite nice for a 4-cost character. I think we've seen a lower reducing cards on higher costing things, so the cost to get it out is high, but it's not doing a huge minus to your opponent. So I think this is a pretty good balance. Again, it's weird because what we're seeing now in black is a lot of Navy and CP and CP9 and all of those, and they play really well together. And we're seeing Sakazuki do nasty things with that. And I just don't know where this would fit. I don't know if it's worth it to be in that deck, or if the other things like this, real quick before I move on, adorable. Like this T-Bone being able to KO a 2 or less. That's pretty nice. I think on play KO a 2 or less, and then having having 2k counter makes it quite nasty. Having it have 5k attack is also quite nice. And then they gave him a nice little send-off alt art. Moving on to our events, we have I Want to Live. This could have been so much more. I wish it was so much more. But what it does is kind of crazy. And decent to its name. If you have 30 or more cards in your trash, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. I think that's quite interesting. I want to know... I know that Gecko Moria gets a lot of cards into the trash, and that's one of the ways that they're playing it. I want to know if this card gets any play. It's a counter that gives you 1 life. So if they're checking in to your leader and it's the end of the game, gaining that extra life might be super beneficial. And I can't imagine you not getting into that 30 range, especially if you're playing really hard to get to this condition. I don't know, it kind of feels like a weird condition to try to meet to get 30 cards in your trash. That's a significant amount of your deck that you've gone through. And if you haven't won at that point and you're resorting to a counter to give you more life, that feels bad. Because then you're playing to survive and not playing to win. And that feels bad as well. Love to hear your thoughts on this card, because I don't think it gets played because I think you want to play more aggressively. Finger Gun, activate main. You may put the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. So KOing of a 5 or less for 4 cost. I think we have better cards for this. I think you'd rather play a character than this. I mean, even if it costs more, playing a character just feels better, even if it costs more. And then you have the Lucci that everyone's playing at 4 cost that KOs multiple things. So all you have to do is have some setup. There may be a place for this, because there might be times where you lower a really big card and you can't get it low enough to reach any of your other thresholds. But you could maybe KO a 10 cost with this if you get enough of your conditions straight. I want to know what people think about it, because I feel like this isn't going to be played. It's a nice card, but I don't think it has a place in what we're currently seeing in black decks. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent black set. I think there's cards that have potential that probably won't see play. There's cards that definitely don't have potential, but we have Scarlet and the super rare Brook, which I think is really nice, and the super rare Lebloon that is also really nice. Everything else kind of falls in between. If T-Bone has a place in Sakazuki, that would be really cool for that character specifically. The cost to effect ratio for the black cards just don't feel good for this set for me. I would love to hear your opinions in the comments. Am I missing something? Is there more there than the surface level read? But if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Until next time, if you want to get more One Piece TCG content, hit that subscribe. Until next time, peace.